You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 9th meeting for the Michigan City Sustainability Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, I would like to call to order the Thursday, October 9th, Michigan City, Indiana Commission on Sustainability at 4:38 p.m. Larry, can I ask you to do a roll call?
Yes. Tristan Bogart is excused. Gianna?
Here.
Beverly? Nancy?
Present.
Faye Moore?
Present.
Abigail?
Here.
M?
Here.
Julie?
Here.
Larry? Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Larry.
Before we go any further, a point of order. Is it acceptable to you that Gianna do the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I confirmed with our city attorneys and the mayor's office that I'm able to do the minutes, help with the agenda, and whatever other admin tasks you guys want to assign to me, while Larry is able to still hold on to the secretary title. So if you guys are comfortable with that, I'm happy to take that on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very comfortable with that.
I've got a few other tasks I'd like to pass along too. No, just kidding. Okay. Can we get a motion for the approval of the September 2025 minutes?
I just had one question. I wasn't at the meeting, but this section doesn't make sense to me. It's under Carbon Neutral Indiana, and it says that Abby reported as noted, which is fine. And then it says something about Beverly attended the Climate Solutions 10th Annual Summit Conference last week and will report on Student Climate Journalist Project at the next meeting. I attended that meeting also, and there was nothing about student climate journalists at that meeting. And I'm trying to figure out what that has to do with Carbon Neutral Indiana. Okay.
That might just.
Because the story from Carbon Neutral was that he was sponsoring these student journalist projects. Carbon Neutral is.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Climate Solutions? On the 10th annual conference we attended. It doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to recommend that either be struck from the minutes or it be moved down to board comments, one or the other.
Larry, I can make those changes and submit those to clerk.
Okay, thank you.
And the same with Julie stating the purpose of the gathering, that's related to the, and that's not the name of it, it was Climate Leadership Summit, that's the name of it.
So we're moving it down to commissioner comments?
No,
Am I
I think it
correct?
should just be struck. What is the last, what item are you referring to on the last thing you just said, Nancy?
It says, Julie stated the purpose of the gathering was to focus attention on a particular problem in a municipality and come up with solutions.
Right.
Moving forward, that next year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Carbon Neutral Indiana. I would recommend taking that and just moving it to
Commissioner's comments.
Commissioner's comments.
Did you see where we were talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
Would anyone like to make a motion to agree to that change?
Yes, I make a motion to agree to that change in the minutes, and then I make a motion that the minutes be accepted with that correction.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay. Approval of the 2025 minutes passes unanimously with one change. Great. Thank you. Okay, we have a guest speaker. Nicole Messacar is going to talk to us about Indiana Clean Communities Program. Did I say your name right? Messacar?
Messacar.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Great. We're gonna move a little out of the way so we can all see it.
Hi. Well, I'll probably move back and forth as I click because I do a lot of moving. So I'll just preface this by saying that while I do work in the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, and I am in the Office of Program Support, and I do manage some other voluntary recognition-based programs. This is not one of my programs, but I'm here on behalf of Melissa Shaber, who is our Clean Community Coordinator for the state of Indiana, but she is in Bloomington, and that's where she lives, and had another clean community that she had to meet with today, so I am here on her behalf. So I will do the best I can. I'm familiar with the program, but if there are some real detailed questions, I'll probably end up referring you to Missy, so it's just going to be kind of an overview, but I think we'll probably get to whatever you would want to know about. So, you know, you may be familiar with IDEM, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. We are overall Indiana's regulatory agency, so we do enforce Indiana's environmental laws. However, we have this entire division that's called the Office of Program Support. We're non-regulatory. I'm not a regulator. Missy is not a regulator. We help, we assist people with doing voluntary compliance. We have a lot of different kinds of things in the Office of Program Support. Clean Community is one of them. Clean Marina is one of them. You have 2 clean marinas in the city of Michigan City. We also offer what's called CTAP, which is the Confidential Technical Assistance Program. That is there to help folks that maybe might not be in compliance with some of Indiana's environmental laws. We can help them confidentially get into compliance. So if they're working with CTAP, everything becomes confidential. So that would be kind of step 1 as far as Clean Community goes. You would go through like what we call our CTAP compliance check. That would be confidential, like Missy wouldn't even know about it. So if there was something like Michigan City was non-compliant with one of its permits, you wouldn't be eligible until that compliance issue was taken care of, but Missy wouldn't know about it. So it sort of keeps a little bit of separation, and it's designed to not discourage folks from participating in some of these voluntary programs for fear of, you know, I want to do something great, and then we bust you on something, and that is not what we want to do at all. So we kind of try to keep a lot of checks and balances, and that's why we have an entire program support division between, you know, the regulated and the regulators. So that's kind of just the background about what Office of Program Support is. So Clean Community is one of those programs, right? Moving back and forth. As I said, it's voluntary. There is no requirement to do it. It doesn't help you in any way as far as like getting away with stuff or whatever. We're, you know, like I said, there is no possibility of you being sort of in trouble if you participate. It's free. You know, this is something that we provide as sort of a service to Hoosiers. Essentially, it's a project-based program. So I'll get into it a little bit later, but there are multiple tiers that you can enter in at based on the size of your community and like kind of how robust you want to be with the program. So if you're like a real go-getter and the community wants to do all sorts of big projects, or in the case of, you know, you may already be doing some of those things, you might come in at a higher level based on what the community has already accomplished. So there's like a bronze, silver, and a gold membership. There are 33 sort of predefined projects. So Missy has sort of set up like a suite of things that are attainable, you know, well, increasingly more difficult, but things that communities can do to kind of move through the projects. I guess she piloted with 6. We're beyond 6 communities at this point in time. The program's really like taking off really well, so that's why she's kind of all over the state right now. A lot of interest in the state for this program. This is one of the I think she has as an example of something that Fishers has started to do. The very first thing after you formally apply to be in the program, is that you need to form what's called a clean team. That usually consists of kind of various sectors of your community. So you may have like a representative from sustainability, but maybe somebody from sanitary and somebody from refuse and somebody from Board of Works, or, you know, something like that. That's also up to you. But this is the kind of document that group would put together. Beech Grove, I think, was one of our first ones. I can't tell you that for sure, but I think they also might be a gold member of the program. So you can see one of the things they have is a tree board. You guys have a tree board. You have a very active tree board. So that would be something you would get credit for having, which is great. Something you're already doing. This is an example of one of the kinds of projects. So this is from Maryville, the city of Maryville is working really, really hard through their projects. They have an incredible stormwater board, an entire stormwater management division, stormwater director. They also have a pretty significant stormwater budget, so they get to do lots of really fantastic things in the city of Maryville. But they put in some rain gardens. They get credit for this type of thing, right? They're doing this. Some of the things that we offer when you get into the program is sort of like a suite of graphics that you can sort of like say, these are our clean community things. They're branded, they have logos on them. We can have a lot of signs, metal signs, flags. I've got more pictures of those. If you have something that you're like, this is a project we did for Clean Community, you can sign it with one of our Clean Community signs, show that off. And then you get some incentives regulatorily. So if you are a member of the Clean Community Program, you get advance notice of an inspection. So if there's going to be, say, an MS4 inspection or wastewater treatment plant inspection, and you're in this program, we'll give you 24-hour notice. So we won't just show up on you, which is pretty cool. And I believe, and don't hold me to this, but I think you also, if you have a favorite inspector, I think you get to request your inspector. Somebody that might be familiar with what you're doing. So that's kind of a nice perk. So as I mentioned, there's 3 tiers. The bronze level, so it starts with that compliance check. If you're out of compliance, you're not eligible. However, as I mentioned, there is CTAP. So if CTAP finds something, what they would do, so what we do is like you would give us your application if you're interested. Missy would put it into our compliance check system. It would get shout out to all of the inspectors in this area that you might be permitted for, the city is permitted for. All those inspectors would have an opportunity to say, yay, no. If something gets flagged, that inspector can then reach out to the Confidential Technical Assistance Program, work that out with you while Missy's just sort of waiting to hear more information. So that's the first step. So you have to be in compliance. Then the clean team, like I said, this kind of shows that you have some skin in the game. People are invested in the program and working on these projects so that we know that you are really actually serious about participating. Then you select your projects. And then there's an annual meeting. This year the meeting is virtual. Once again, the communities are from all across the state. So, trying to be sustainable, it's, having people drive hours and hours to attend a 1-hour meeting or whatever is, not something that we want to encourage. So I think this year the meeting is November 5th. And it's, I think, an hour and a half online. And it's just sort of like a networking, sharing of ideas kind of a thing. At the silver level, you gotta do all the bronze stuff. And then we expect you to put information about what you're doing on your website. We want you to acknowledge that you're in the program. 4 to 8 projects. So I'll show you how that breaks down as far as the size of your community, but you can select those projects. I'll show you. It depends on how big you are. So obviously we would expect the city of Michigan City to be doing less than, say, Indianapolis, right? You're just less resources. So you're not really getting compared to a city that's not really comparable, right? And then you have to report on those. So we want you to keep track of what you're doing. You can't just be like, hey, we did this program, it's really cool, give us credit, and then we really don't know what happened with it or how many people it impacted or what the results were. So we want you to, there's some documentation involved. Gold, more projects essentially, right? You gotta do your bronze, your silver, and then you're doing more projects. I'm gonna show you the projects so that will become a little bit more clear. And then of course, measuring and performing on those metrics. Good. So the small community, which you guys were still under 35,000 here, right? 30,
Oh, yes.
31, yeah. So we would expect you to do 4 projects a year. That would be, kind of your intro would be those 4 projects. These are the categories that Missy has her projects broken down into. Waste management, so like recycling, just reduction of solid waste, energy audits, that kind of thing, different types of land use, conservation easements, there's a range of things, and then resiliency is a big one. And I know Michigan City is doing a lot of those things. So these are the lists, greenhouse gas audit. I think that's something that she expects everyone to do, yes?
No.
Oh, I thought you meant, okay. The climate action plan, which you have to have your greenhouse gas audit to be able to do. Green grounds and maintenance practices. You can read these. You already are Tree City USA. A storm ready community. thought you guys might be a storm ready community, but I'm not, no. I thought that NERC had went through that process with you guys a couple of years ago, maybe not.
I'm not aware of it,
Okay.
because I know, I don't think so.
Okay, no big deal. Something you can do.
I know that NAACP had picked that up as a possibility, but decided not to based on the amount of time and financial resources it was gonna take.
Interesting, okay. I don't know a whole lot about that
So-
process. But,
I don't think so.
okay. We got the Tree City USA already. Check it off the list.
And we have our greenhouse gas.
That's-
inventory
Oh, there you
finished
go,
also.
see? Look at that.
And we have a pseudo climate action plan.
Pseudo. Okay. So here's some of the energy-based projects. We're tracking how much energy the community is using, or your municipality anyway. Energy conservation, anti-idling. Probably on public. Obviously this would all be like on your municipal facilities, right? You can't like go to Walmart and tell people they can't idle there. Sol Smart Community, did I see a sign? For that? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, that's out upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already there with that. Bike shares, Charge Smart, these are things that are, there's processes to go through that you can, as you guys know, attain these sort of recognitions. Environmental management, water use, open burning, which some of these things like, past local ordinances improving your stormwater management, you have done that because you're an MS4. So some of these things I think you're kind of doing just already because you have to. Drinking water source protection, that might not be applicable here because we, use surface water, not groundwater. So typically I think that applies to our groundwater system, but don't quote me on that either. Community gardens, green infrastructure, I know that we've done some of these things in Michigan City too. So, and like I said, if it doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. You don't get dinged for not doing the things that don't apply to your community. Let's see. Thriving local economies. This is one I'm not super familiar with, but I do know we've done some stuff with brownfield sites here in Michigan City, buy local campaigns, green business recognition programs, lots of interesting possibilities there. It's sort of like a sustainable community development aspect.
We have it.
Yeah.
About you being green.
Call you being green? Yeah, I know about that. And then your waste management and reduction projects, waste audits, recycling and reuse programs, food waste reduction, and then, tracking and sending that to IDEM, which probably you do already, I would think. And then I am not sure why she has this another list, but here's another list of more projects that you can potentially do. Residential composting, that one is a little bit of a challenge. I know that I have attended some workshops on residential composting at a municipal level, and it's challenging to do. So, that might be a gold level project for you guys, I don't know. So this is something that I think she's suggesting, like this would be sort of a suite of projects that you could choose to do in combination with one another that might make a lot of sense, to get started with. I think just a suggestion. And then this is where you would find the application and then our website. If you do come into the program, Missy has on the website, there is kind of a private area for each community that you can put things into, documents, resources, if you want to upload your greenhouse gas inventory, that type of thing. There's areas of that site that are sort of password protected that are just internal, so like all the green team or whatever, clean team can log in and share documents, and then there's parts that are public, so if you're like, hey, this is what we did today, here's a bunch of pictures, then that can go, and then all of the other clean communities can see those things and share and applaud you and that sort of thing. So that's our kind of front-facing website, but there is also a back-facing, for the members of the program. That's Missy there on the right. That's from last year or 2 years ago. Her annual meeting. That's the signage. So there's like kind of the big one that you could put up, in City Hall. Those smaller ones that you could put on your project site. I don't know, to be honest with you, how if you can just keep asking for them. I don't know, if she has a limit, that's something I'm not sure. It's an internal program thing, but I know like for clean marinas, I give you as many signs as you need. So I'm sure it's something similar there. There's the flag, so that can hang, whatever flagpole you want to put it on, to kind of recognize that you're a clean community. And that's Missy. That's her email address. And you can contact her.
Question,
Yeah.
so as you mentioned, like some of these projects we've already done, so we
Yeah.
would get credit for those, these don't all have to be newly initiated projects?
Nope, you would get credit for already doing them.
Okay, and so then is it like to maintain our designation, do we have to do an additional 3 to 4 every year? Or-
Yeah, I think the expectation, I actually asked Missy this exact thing, so I have her response to this
Yeah.
actually. But I think the expectation is that you would continue to add more projects. But I was curious about that too. And I want to just make sure I tell you exactly what she said. Okay, she says, so here's some like frequently asked questions, Missy says. What time frame do you have to complete projects? It's entirely work at your own pace. There is no, within 5 years or within 1 year. No application deadline. Your clean team has no set number of people. You can meet as often as you like or as infrequently as you like. You do not have to reapply after any time. Once you're in, you're in. As long as your forward momentum is maintained, your membership stays active. So, if you're doing one project a year or one project every other year or whatever, as long as you did your initial application, compliance check, I think greenhouse gas audit was one of the first ones, right? Then you're in. And so there's no expectation that you're, becoming San Francisco overnight or whatever, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Any other questions?
And if something is already being done by the county, does that count for us? Like
No, the county
composting?
could also become a clean community. So we do have several counties that are in the program, and there are municipalities within that county that is not. So they would do their own. Now, I can't, speak 100% for Missy, but I would guess that if Michigan City and LaPorte County wanted to kind of come in together and say we are, we both want to do this, she would probably be, open to that. But it might make it complicated for both of you. But no, it would be what's happening within this municipality.
Okay.
Other questions? Okay.
Great.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. You know how to get a hold of Missy. She's been on the emails. She's happy. She's, apologizes for not being able to come, but
We understand.
sustainability, right?
Yes, exactly. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to project teams, which I can give the update on item A, explore the use of biodiesel by the city fleet. We are looking for opportunities, or looking to identify opportunities to transition any vehicles from traditional fuel to biodiesel. I would say there are no updates for the previous month, but note that Abby to re-engage with the street department on this project. B, solar power options for the city government. Tristan Bogart and Beverly McMartin. Beverly, any updates from you other than the note that it's on a long-term hold at this time?
No,
Okay.
no updates.
Great. Electric municipal vehicle project with the Michigan City Police Department and Transit Department. Tristan, Beverly, and Abby. I think there are no so this is exploring the opportunity or possibility of transitioning any of the Michigan City police vehicles to electric vehicles. At this point, we have no updates. The issue will need to be readdressed with the new police chief going forward. Section D, green burials and burial sections, Larry Zimmer and Abby Neary. This is working with the cemetery board to pursue options for green burials and/or green burial section at Swan Lake Cemetery. This project is on hold for now while the cemetery completes testing and analysis of groundwater issues. Waste reduction garbology. Now, I think we were going to rename this, weren't we, to, what's the tagline for the recycling thing? Recycle smart, do your part?
Okay. Yeah.
I forgot to do, that's my fault. I thought of that this afternoon. So this will be changed going forward. Emerson, Julie Smith, Daisy Lee, and we will strike Bailey, Angela, and Michelle from this project at the moment. So we received a $3,000 community activation grant from the Mayor's Charitable Gala, and it's intended to support meaningful, locally focused initiatives. And so we are in the process of working on a grant application to help inform restaurants and the public about limiting use of things like plastic straws, silverware, etc. The next step here is I'm going to revise the grant application and resend it to the team members, to the project team members for review. And Nancy, I think that you had mentioned that you might have a graphic design resource.
Yeah, I may have access to a professional graphic designer, so I'll explore that to see what I can come up with.
Any other comments?
I think the first round of it was good, to the point.
Great. All right. Section F. This is the Soul Smart. Continue promoting Soul Smart Silver designation with partner Indiana University Resilience Cohort and Indiana Clean Communities. So there's no update regarding the Soul Smart designation. We just had our presentation by Nicole Messacar for the Indiana Clean Communities. And I think we need to discuss a vote if we want to proceed with the initial application for Indiana Clean Communities. Or can we vote on that now, Nancy, or do I have to move that to the next meeting?
No, you have it in here.
Oh, since it's in here.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
in here. It says vote right there.
Okay, great. I'd like to make a motion to vote. Can
You
it?
want to talk about?
Oh yeah, do you guys want to talk about what we heard today? Any questions, concerns?
She didn't to give a cost on any of them.
She said no cost.
No cost at all.
Mhm.
And then the time frame for any of them is the same, right?
Mhm.
For all of them is the same.
And it looks like, so I'll take, I was taking some notes. It looks like we already have at least 4 of these.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I was like, we've got the tree board, we've got the tree board, we've got the GHG inventory, we've got Soul Smart. We have a stormwater management plan, don't we?
I'm pretty
I
sure
think we do.
We do, yeah.
And then a green business recognition. So we actually have 2, 3, 4. We have 5. And then I also know that they had put in rain gardens in Michigan City.
Yeah, it's on Wabash Street.
Yeah.
The sunken in areas on Wabash Street there.
Yeah, so I thought that might even give us up to 6 already.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the community recycling enablement program coming up. So I think we'd have no issues
Right.
meeting it. Now that's why I asked about what does it take to maintain it, because some of these projects looked a lot more difficult to implement than others. Any questions? Any other questions or thoughts?
Well, that's what Nicole thought. We probably had enough things accomplished already that we would automatically, get recognition.
So what would be the benefit for us actually doing that, since we've done quite a few of the projects already? I mean, we already have them.
I think the recognition that we are,
So they would give us more recognition?
Yeah, we'd actually get the plaques, we'd be on their website as a clean community, we'd be able to use their signage at sites, like perhaps if the way I looked at it is like if the rain gardens down there are eligible, like let's put signs there, it's right by Lighthouse Place, you know, like that.
So people coming into town.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And we also have a community garden too at the Walker Street.
Oh, we have several, because they have
So-
one on the west side at
West
the
side.
Smart Center, and there's another one I saw the other day. Oh, shoot, I forgot where it was at. Seemed like it was on the west
Designations
side.
like that also help us when we're doing grants,
Okay.
having those kinds of designations.
I didn't
think so.
even think about that, but
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
It would help promote green businesses,
Hmm.
just getting their names out as part of the recognition.
Okay, so I make a motion that we join the Indiana Clean Communities Program.
Can I get a second?
I second that.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously that we are going to be applying for the Indiana Clean Communities Program. So I will work with Gianna and who's in Wendy's office. Oh,
Sorry, I'm doing the minutes
Oh,
right now. I'm trying to.
Julie seconded.
Julie, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And so I will work with Gianna to proceed with the application process. We need some things from the city, EPA grant, or numbers and so forth. So, great. Okay, G, Carbon Neutral Indiana. Again, a plug for any of our viewers watching. Read A Practical Guide to Climate Solutions. Some of our esteemed members here are featured in the book. And this is open to all residents who want to consider being carbon neutral. It gives you a household assessment, allows you to offset your carbon emissions. They've been doing some amazing work, such as backing asphalt recycling, that cuts carbon emissions by 71%. And also capping abandoned oil wells in Indiana, which is very important because abandoned oil wells release nitrous oxide, which is 1,000 times more potent than carbon dioxide in the first 5 years that it's released. So it's really important that we get that out of the air right now. But no additional updates from Carbon Neutral Indiana unless Nancy or Faye, you have anything to add?
No, I haven't gotten any recent emails.
Okay, great. Northwest Indiana Region Resilience Action Planning Working Group, Nancy Moldenauer, Tristan Bogart, and Julie Smith. So there have been no new enrollments since last month. The statistics remain the same. And I think Julie, was the list attached to that email so we could see, because you had asked at the last meeting, like, is Friendship Gardens certified?
I didn't see.
Okay.
I didn't get a response.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure we get that.
And Friendship Gardens is certified. They have the plaque on the entrance cabin where you check in.
Okay.
It looks like they've had it for a while. I think the missing piece was the National Wildlife Federation didn't have the address of the gardens, so they weren't sure it really existed.
Well, and I think the other thing that we were talking about is if we could see the list, we would know who else we might want to approach.
I did see the list, and the gardens is listed, but with no address.
Oh, yeah, no, but what I'm saying is we wanted to look at the
Oh, yeah,
list.
I understand totally.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. That was just an example.
Yeah.
That wasn't,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
So you said that there's a list. Nancy, do you remember how many Michigan City?
Well, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
It's listed.
52 have-
Oh, 52, okay.
52.
Any other comments on section H? Moving on to Soul Power, Danita Scully, Faye Moore, and Nancy Moldenauer. You guys had quite an update this month, so I will let you two handle the update.
Faye gets to read
Okay,
the
so,
status update.
So our status update, we've made great strides in collaborating with numerous community members to effectively tackle criminal justice issues. We are currently working with key stakeholders to address the violence in our community, starting with our youth. In addition, through our Soul Power program, we have been awarded many OSHA 10 safety training and NAPCEP PVA photovoltaic solar certifications, leading to enhanced skills, education, and competitive wage jobs for individuals. We continue to look for grants to sustain our program, and with all the cuts, we are having a hard time finding grant monies or companies, even companies that used to give us money through the national NAACP we're having trouble all throughout the nation because of the cuts in the government, companies and stuff. So, but anyway, we're still looking and plugging away. And the Michigan City Community Enrichment Activities Report is due, September 30th was passed, so we did get it in on time. And the October 1st Advisory Board and workers are needed for Soul Power. We're trying to get a board together and from the community members that can help us do the research for, help us do research for grants, also help us inform the community of how good solar power is and the cleanness that it provides. And with NIPSCO, we're hoping we could get a committee real quick, but we're getting slow response on that one. We've kind of put it on our Facebook page that we're looking for to get an advisory board to kind of help us get this, hopefully get some more, especially grant monies. So if you're interested, please contact Danita Scully. And they will only meet like quarterly, starting in October, the advisory board, instead of meeting, because sometimes that deter people thinking they have to meet every month. But the board would only meet quarterly, so that wouldn't take up a lot of your time. And I saw one of the students that graduated that got a position in Ohio from our program. Wow. Sydney Mahone, and he's very excited about his job. He said he's very excited that he took the course because he wasn't going to take it, but his mother made him take it.
Mother always knows best, right?
Take it, so he's very excited about that.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you.
That's it. That's wonderful.
Okay. Next is item J, Solar United Neighbors. This is an effort to coordinate between Solar United Neighbors, Faith in Place, with places of worship, nonprofits, and the Mayor's Office for Education on Solar Installation. Nancy, would you like to give?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Great.
We're just encouraging people to continue to be advocates for community solar installations. And you can do that via the online workshops and also taking part in legislative actions. If you go and sign up on their website, then you'll get their emails and their announcements when these are happening. They're extremely well organized. They're, the information that they provide is it's outstanding, actually. And I did get signed up for that. I took part in a couple of those online meetings. I took an action, and I actually got acknowledgement for doing that. So if you're interested, I would recommend doing that. And if you know other people that are committed to community solar, let them know. And what that is, it would be a group of people or a neighborhood would be able to put up solar panels so that they're able to share that energy together. So that takes away the high cost of a person having to do it all themselves. And also for people that rent, they could possibly be able to sign up for it also. So it sort of equalizes the opportunity for residents and the neighborhood communities. Right now, this is not legal in Indiana. In fact, the state legislature a few years ago passed a law that said people couldn't do this. So really, it even goes from the local level to the state level of actually pushing this initiative forward. So Brian and Zach are doing great. I saw them at Climate Leadership Summit 10. So they send their hellos to everybody.
And we'll probably have an update sometime in January or February if they can get a bill introduced to allow for community solar again. So we'll keep everyone updated on where to respond. We have a new item K. Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission, also known as NERC, the Environment Committee's Climate Action Plan. So the summary of this is the NERC Environmental Committee's Climate Action Plan has resumed its prior commitment to become once again a Greater Chicago area regional effort to create a climate action plan that will include Northwest Indiana, Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties. The details of this is parallel to this, the Chicago regional effort coordinated by NERC and Northwest Indiana will forge a collaborative effort to author a Northwest Indiana specific climate action plan. The update was that at the Climate Leadership Summit 10, it was announced that Earth Charter Indiana will no longer hold statewide gatherings and will concentrate on regional efforts. So Kathy Sipple is committed to bring a meeting to Northwest Indiana, possibly Michigan City, to craft specifically a climate action plan for our area. Do we need to assign anyone to this as a project team?
I'm actually the official representative to NERC's Environment Committee, and I've been doing that now for several years. So I'm probably that person.
Okay.
And if anybody else is interested in this, let me know. But we've just been going back and forth, you know, between this Chicago regional plan and then something for Northwest Indiana. And at Climate Leadership Summit 10, we just felt we're becoming impatient with waiting. So we want to start getting something down on paper for Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties. So we're not going to abandon, you know, what's happening at the Chicago, Northwest Indiana regional level, but we need to move forward. You know, not having a climate action plan just really isn't servicing anybody at this moment in time. So I was happy to see that Earth Charter Indiana is stepping forward and taking the role of having these meetings across the whole state, basically.
Do you have an example of another city's climate action plan? Was that maybe posted on NERC's website somewhere? I was just curious as to what it looks like.
Some of them are posted, and I'm thinking about Fort Wayne has one.
Okay.
And Evansville has one, and possibly Bloomington has one.
Great. Thank you. Okay, any other questions for Nancy on the NERC project?
And this has been going on all along, and it was just sort of combined with some other stuff, and it didn't make sense to
Separate it out.
to not have it, you know, standing on its own. So And that came about as a result of us picking up the National Wildlife Federation Habitat Project. They were just
Yeah.
commingled to the point that I couldn't distinguish between the two anymore.
I agree. And they really are separate tracks, so it makes sense to have it standalone. Caught You Being Green engagement. Any updates or anything that you need from the committee?
I have 2 updates. I haven't gotten them posted yet, but I have photo documentation that will go up soonly. Royale with Cheese will put any of your to-go orders in your own reusable containers as long as you ask. You do have to go in person and order at the counter and ask for it to be put into those containers, but they will. So I got a picture of my chicken popcorn bites in my reusable container outside of Royale with Cheese, which will be shared this week.
I love it.
And then also, I'm going to give a shout out to the Michigan City Goodwill, who had 2 whole racks of secondhand Halloween costumes. And Halloween is one of the biggest polluters right after Christmas when it comes to holidays and with single-use plastics. And buying a costume secondhand is a great way to lessen your impact of things that traditionally end up in landfills.
And
so we'll be giving them, and they had decor as well. So I got pictures of all the racks and the decor, and encourage people to shop secondhand over at the Goodwill.
And not to mention how much money it saves.
Yeah,
and
oh my
what
gosh.
kid wants to be the same thing every year for
Yeah.
Halloween, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, the prices were really good. Like things were $1 each, so you can't beat that. The best price is $1.
For sure.
So those will be going up. And I also wrote a blog for Save the Dunes on plastic-free Halloween. So once I start sharing that out on socials, I'll make sure to share it on our
So
page.
what's your blogger's hashtag?
Which blog? Sorry.
Your blog.
It's the Save the Dunes blog.
Save the Dunes blog.
So under the news and blog section.
And then she posts on our Michigan City sustainability site on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So we still have that site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Facebook algorithms have changed, so like it never pops up in my feed. I have to go look for it. Okay. So we have a new item on the agenda to vote. The approval of signing onto the letter with the Indiana Conservation Voters, Earth Justice, and other environmental organizations in opposing the EPA's proposed deadline extension for coal ash cleanups. So we're going to ask to vote on signing what, and I'll just read what it says. The undersigned XXX public interest groups strongly oppose the proposed extension of compliance deadlines contained in the direct final rule and proposed CCR management unit deadline extension rule hereinafter proposed rule published by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency on July 22nd, 2025. The proposed rule is reckless, dangerous, and entirely unnecessary, and it will endanger frontline communities and their environment by allowing toxic waste to continue leaking unmonitored and unabated. This is a paramount concern to our community because we have a lot of coal ash with very dated seawalls very close to our source of drinking water. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve signing on in opposition to this EPA proposed deadline extension?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Em. Can we get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Beverly. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimously approved.
And can that part be like section out the part that we're signing to when you do the minutes?
Yeah.
You know, because like it's all running together now. So
Yeah.
where the quote is, could the quote be separated?
Sure.
Thanks.
Great. Okay. Commission comments.
I just have a thing to pass around. Michigan City Clean Air Survey.
Oh.
Your feedback helps shape how our community approaches health, and workplace safety. So there's a QR code for you to scan and then answer the questions. And this is being put out by First Ward City Councilman Greg Coulter at gcoulter@michigancity.com.
Fantastic. Great.
And it's only a couple of questions about the air and whatever. So if the commissioners, I appreciate if you guys would check that.
I will scan it as I'm walking out.
Okay.
Any other commission comments? Commission comments? Commission comments? Okay. We'll move on to public comments. Any public comments? Public comments? Last chance for public comments.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. That's me.
You got in there at the nick of time.
I'm so sorry. At our last city council meeting, there was a resident who came and brought to our attention the amount of trash that is actually on Franklin Street.
Oh, yeah.
And he specifically cited between Barker Ave and 11th Street. It even goes further south than that. But I'm happy to report that community volunteers got together. There were people from Keys to Hope that got together. The police department turned up, and it looked like today they got that specific area under control now. But my larger question was, I know, Julie, you were involved in this, that there was an active group of people who regularly went out and cleaned up sections of Michigan City that needed assistance. So I don't know what the possibility might be of activating that particular effort as residents of our community come forward and bring, to the city council's attention what needs to be cleaned up. Are you in contact with any of them anymore? No.
Well, I know Councilman Joseph Nelson has a group of youth that he's been taking around the west side. I don't know if they'll go into other communities, Nancy.
Yeah, he's specifically focusing on his ward.
On the west side?
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing that on the west
So he
side.
won't go out to other.
Well, I think if I were to envision this whole thing, we probably should have a community volunteer group probably in each of the wards. If it was going to work effectively, when these things turn up. It was the Great Michigan City Green Clean.
Right. Yeah, kind of just fell to the wayside. Winter happened, I think, and
Yeah.
But it never got picked up again
Yeah.
after winter. Okay, so a question out there, if anybody has any recommendations. I do believe that Sacha G. Burns was posting the beach cleanups to this particular Facebook page. So I'm just throwing out there's a need, so if anybody in our wider viewing audience, has an idea, or, getting in contact with, it actually would have been Michael Kilborn and,
He does the beach though, right?
yeah, and, okay, but I think we're going to be hearing more about this, and if we could somehow be proactive about it, I think it would be a good thing. So,
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Nora Ritzka.
yeah, I was racking my brain, yes.
Any other public comments? Okay, that concludes public comments. We'll move on to announcements. As always, please join Northwest Indiana Green Drinks via the Save the Dunes Facebook Live or Zoom links. Ooh, this is an interesting topic for November 6th at 6:30 p.m. is Indigenous History Law and the Cross-Cultural Connections that impact Native American rights and identity will be presented by Dr. John Lowe, an enrolled citizen of the Pokagon Band of Potawatomi Indians in recognition of Indigenous Peoples Month. That is a great topic. I don't think we've ever had anyone speak on that, but that I know of.
Em, you may want to give an update since we've gotten a little more information about that.
Like the title?
Yeah.
Pull it up.
I sort of just throw a summary together with as much information as I have at the time.
The title is going to be Chicago on the lands of the Potawatomi and why land acknowledgements for Chicago should acknowledge the history.
Great. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
It should be really good.
Mhm.
And you've met him?
I have. Yes. I met him last year and I was very impressed by his presentation. I think it's the first time I heard specific to Northwest Indiana and the relationship, so I'm curious to how he'll hopefully bring back Northwest Indiana topics along with Chicago as the greater region for the Pokagon Band, or Potawatomi, I'm sorry.
Amazing. We have another great announcement. The League of Women Voters, Michigan City Region, will host their annual meeting and conference. Exercising democracy, protecting Lake Michigan and the Great Lakes in the face of data centers and other challenges. Please get out. It'll be held October 24th and 25th at the Spa Speakeasy Banquet Hall at the Springhouse Inn, which is located at 303 North Mineral Springs Road in Porter, Indiana. There are details that are posted. I recommend you go to the League of Women Voters Lake Michigan Region homepage for online registration and conference details. And the last one, which is very exciting. Oh, go
Can
ahead.
I just
Yeah.
say, you can be there in person or you can do it online.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so, and I would highly recommend it. They're gonna be talking about data centers, and we know that this has been a much talked about issue and concern in Michigan City. So this will be an opportunity to get educated in that particular area also. This whole group is all about water quality, and they've been committed to this for several years, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know if most of it's on Saturday, like it's on the dates are Friday and Saturday? Is Friday just kind of like a meet and greet?
Yeah,
hello,
Friday,
socializing?
Friday I call it more of a meet and greet,
Okay.
and then the real meat of it would be on the 25th Saturday.
Perfect.
Excellent question.
So so we have to go to this link to find out the time that it's gonna,
I would-
Zoom?
I would go to the League of Women Voters, like Michigan Regional page, because these constant
okay.
contact things are all like registration pages.
Ah,
I just
okay.
know the URLs are like registration pages. So,
Well, the first one is conference details, that's a file.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I can tell you exactly, on Friday it is from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then on Saturday it is from 9:30 to 4:30.
oh wow.
And at the very end is when they have their field trip. So you can do the field trip or you don't have to do the field trip. So it'll end a little bit before that. They pack it in. It's very information intense and extremely reliable sources.
Great. Okay, and then the last announcement, this is an exciting one. Recycle Smart, do your part. Wednesday, November 12th at 5:30 p.m., Michigan City Town Hall, EOC room, the room we're in now. It's a hands-on workshop presented by Sasha G. Burns. And the program is sponsored by the City of Michigan City, the Michigan City Refuse Department, the Michigan City Sustainability Commission, and LaPorte County Solid Waste District. If you haven't attended one of these types of workshops, I highly encourage it, and bring your children because it is always hands-on and very informative.
And Sasha will be bringing her big tub full of examples, and I love it the way she does it. It's like, is it recyclable or is it not recyclable? Why is it? Why isn't it? So it really, it sticks with you when you do a session with her.
And it's continually changing.
Yes.
There's, you know, when you do one last year, this year, different things are, so it's good to keep up.
Yeah, like now we can do all the black containers
See,
With-
I didn't know that.
with the number 6
Oh,
that's in the triangle. Yes.
good to know. I've got one of those in
It
my
just
sink
made
right now.
me extremely happy.
Well, and that would be something for the like restaurant campaign too. That they, I mean, you know, like we're talking about don't use plastic straws or utensils, but like, hey, reminder, our materials are, our takeout materials or whatever, compostable or recyclable.
Yeah, and some of those that the restaurants think are recyclable, it says it's recyclable as long as your community has a center to recycle these kinds of containers, and we don't have.
Yeah. Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
You can stay here all night. Okay, thank you, Julie. Can we get a second?
I second.
Thank you, Faye and Em. All in favor of adjournment? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no. We have unanimously agreed to adjourn at 5:39 p.m.